So we had a red day in the stock market today, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to be breaking that down in this video. And you guys know the deal. We're going to talk about some stocks. We're going to go over some earnings. We had Nvidia report today, Cisco, Bath and Body Works. We're going to break down some stocks, some companies in this video. So sit back, relax, hit that like button, and make sure to subscribe. And let's dive into the video. And by the way, if you guys want some free money, use those links down below. You get 15 stocks from Moomoo and 12 stocks from Webull. And now let's dive into it. So for the most part, we had a red day today. The only green index, actually, no, wait a second. The futures are up. That confused me for a second. The futures are up right now. I thought the Dow went green on the day, but actually all the indexes went red. We had the Dow close down 0.1%, Russell down 1.9, NASDAQ 100 down 1.5, as the S&P went down 0.75%. And it looks like here we are getting a bit of a snapback on these futures in the aftermarket hours here, guys. We have the Dow futures up 0.2%, NASDAQ's up 0.3%, Russell futures up 0.2%. So let's see if that, leads into, the markets tomorrow. Of course, it's way too early to tell right now. But overall, red day across the board, and the futures are seeing a bit of a comeback today. We had the VIX go down 1.7% on the day, and gold pretty much broke even. Same thing here with silver. And looking at the intraday chart on SPY, I mean, look, we downtrended all day. That is what today was. We in the pre-market were almost at $400. I mean, you guys can see it right here. And we downtrended all pre-market to about $397 on SPY. That's where it opened, and we got all the way down to about $394.80 at the low of the day. And again, the futures are up right now. We are spiking a bit here after the bell. So at this point, if I'm pulling up the maybe the 5-day will show it. No, maybe the 20-day. Well, I guess the 5-day, you can see it as well. We're holding still, even though we had a red day today, we're holding 395, which is a very good sign for the bulls in the short term here. Look at that. We've held that the past couple of days, 1, 2, 3, 4 trading days. And quite honestly, guys, I mean, does this not look like consolidation after we had that massive green week last week? Look at this. If I pull up the 20-day chart, doesn't it look like we're just consolidating a little bit here, cooling off, letting the dust settle a bit? That's kind of what it seems like is happening, at least to me. And for Triple Q, let's pull that up. And that was SPY, by the way, which tracks the S&P 500. Triple Q is the same thing. I mean, we hit a high yesterday of 295. Today we pulled back, and in the pre-market, we were at about, let's see here on Triple Q, 290. Then we downtrended all pre-market to about 287. Markets open, and then we got to about 284. So, I mean, we're holding 285. We actually closed above it, and on the 5-day chart, you can see that's been a point of support for the past 4 days. And going back to the 4-hour chart, you all can see as well, it's consolidating. So let's see. Do buyers come in at 285? Do we fail here, then go down to 275? That is kind of what I'm waiting for in the short term here when it comes to Triple Q. And we got some news, some insight here from Fed official Christopher Waller today. I was doing some research, reading a bunch of articles. You guys know how that goes. And Federal Reserve Governor Christopher Waller said that recent inflation data makes him more comfortable with the idea of raising rates by 50 basis points at the central bank's December meeting, which we kind of knew that. That's kind of been the forecast. We had how many 75 basis points in a row? Was it 3 or was it 4? I think it was. Now I'm forgetting. Either way, we had multiple 75 basis point hikes, and, we were expecting for the next meeting 50. So that's what Christopher Waller thinks, which makes sense. And looking toward the FOMC's December meeting, this is a quote by him: "The data of the past few weeks have made me more comfortable considering stepping down to a 50 basis point hike." So he was at, 75 before? And he said that at the he said this speech at an economic forum in Arizona today. And if the FOMC were to step down to a 50 basis point increase, it is important to remember that this would be still be a very significant tightening action. As, I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. We're not really seeing. Sure, we're seeing inflation come down. What was it, 7.7% year over year? But it's not really coming down in a very drastic way quite yet. So, we're going from 75 to 50, and even 50 in the grand scheme of things is still a decent increase if we're doing, 50 basis point hikes quarter meeting after meeting, right? So, okay, I can see what he means by that. And Waller stretched that he won't make a final judgment until he sees the next jobs report and the next price consumption expenditures report, which is the Fed's preferred measure for inflation, which I'm actually not sure exactly what day the next jobs report comes out. I'm going to have to look that up. But, of course, that makes sense. You guys know the dual mandate for the Fed. You guys know what that is, right? Or maybe you don't. But either way, we had a red day today. We sold off. Futures are up. Metals were down. Bitcoin, Ethereum, I'm pretty sure they're still consolidating. We're not going to break those down in this video. I'll probably cover them tomorrow. But yeah, those are some quick little words on the market. Some news here about Fed official Christopher Waller. I'd love to know your thoughts down below in the comments. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that like button. I feel like we failed the challenge 5 videos in a row. So if you haven't hit that like button, let's try and get what? I think the challenge was 100 likes. Yeah, let's get 100 likes on this video. And with that being said, guys, let's talk earnings. We had Nvidia report after the bell today, and their stock is pretty unchanged. If I pull it up, you're going to look at it here. It is unchanged. And first of all, it's been reversing. You guys can see that. And I did make some money on this move. I bought at 121, sold roughly at 140, 141, something like that. So I did leave a lot on the table, as it's as a lot of people do in the stock market, because you can't time the bottom and the top. But as a short-term move, it was great. I think I made about 16, 15% on it. And at this point, look, we closed at 159. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, Nvidia's up after the bell. It was almost to 166 at one point, which was a pop initially after the earnings of about 4%. And now it's holding at about 160, 161. Not too bad. So unchanged, which honestly, guys, is nice, finally. I mean, we've been seeing all these crazy swings after the bell here with these companies reporting earnings. It is kind of, it's like a breath of fresh air seeing a stock unchanged after the bell for once. I mean, finally. So EPS came in at 58 cents. Well, I mean, if you're long on the company, you probably wanted it to see explode. But then again, how many companies have we seen go down 20% after the bell? It could really go either way at this point. So unchanged, you got to love it, honestly, the fact that it's flat. Either way, EPS 58 cents versus 69 cents estimated. Revenue came in at $5.93 billion versus the $5.77 billion estimated. So they missed EPS by about 11 cents. Revenue beat. Q3 data center revenue was $3.83 billion, up 31% year over year. And Q4 revenue expected to be $6 billion roughly versus the $6.13. So they beat revenue for the last quarter, but the next quarter revenue guidance is a little bit soft. And again, they missed EPS, and we're seeing some decent growth in the data center revenue at about 31% year over year. And they're looking to see GAAP and non-GAAP gross margins roughly at 63% and 66% respectively here. I believe that's for, I was looking at the report. I think that was for the next quarter potentially. I have to double check, so don't quote me on that. But margins 63, 66% roughly, in that ballpark here for GAAP and non-GAAP. So I would say that it's not obviously a blowout quarter for Nvidia, but it's not anything that the markets really were not expecting. I mean, we got news. That didn't Nvidia issue a warning a while ago? I mean, this was a couple weeks ago, maybe even longer than that. Either way, it was expected that these earnings were not going to be crazy, so it's pretty flat. That's what we're noticing right now, and that is sometimes a good thing. Like I said, with all these crazy swings we've been seeing, sometimes it just being flat, it is a good thing, guys. So the next one that I'm looking at here, which also reported, is Cisco, CSCO. Let's pull it up. Cisco is at $46 after the bell. We closed at $44.30, so it is up a little bit. Wow, look at that. It spiked initially to about $47.30. It ran up 6.5%. Now it's chilling at about $46 a share. Still up about 3.6 after the bell. Not too bad. So Cisco did 86 cents versus 84 cents in EPS, so they beat on that. Revenue also beat, $13.6 billion versus $13.31 billion. Nice. Revenue for the next year, full year 23 revenue, they see growth at about 4.5 to 6.5% year over year. Not too bad. And let me see, do we have any other metrics on the live news tab? They see, let's see here. They see EPS above the estimate for the next quarter, which is good. Sales growth of 4.5. I just said that. Let's see. Yeah, pretty much everything that I just mentioned is what I wanted to mention. There's nothing really else to add to that. And if I pull up the 4-hour chart, you guys are going to notice, well, what is that? An inverse head and shoulders. You got it. You have the left shoulder here, the head, the right shoulder, and now we're starting to pick direction. We're starting to break out a 45, 46, $47 here after the bell. So there could be upside towards $50 a share on this. I'm telling you guys, if this really starts getting hot. So my alert right now is at 46.50. Let's see what it does. Not too bad of earnings here out of Cisco. And we also had another one, which is BBWI. Let's pull that up. This is Bath and Body Works. You guys have probably seen those Bath and Body Works stores at the mall. They have all the, soaps, candles, all this crap. And trust me, guys, if I didn't have a fiance, if I was a single dude, I don't know if I would ever go there. But, I've been there a lot over the course of the years here. And it's really just during the holidays. And, that's what they do. Again, they sell, candles, lotions, all that crap, right? And mind you, it smells great. I mean, you guys got to go. The products they have smell phenomenal. They're great at marketing, packaging, making a pretty good product. Now, is the chemicals in the products good for you? Probably not, but we're not going to get into that in this video. That's not for this video. But either way, BBWI, they are up a ton. So that's a good sign. Whether or not you're going to get you're going to breathe in toxic fumes, from their candles, whether you're not, whatever, right? Their earnings are still good. They're up 21% after the bell here, guys, which is a move of about $7. So close at what, 31? Now it's almost $40 a share. So they did 40 cents in earnings per share versus 20 cents estimated on revenue of 1.6 billion versus 1.55. So they beat on EPS, beat on revenue. They see Q4 EPS of $1.45 to $1.65 versus $1.55. That's good. And they raised their full year 22 EPS guidance from $2.70 to $3 versus $2.89. So yeah, I mean, guys, this is not a stock that I am going to go and throw the farm on it. But, at this point, I'm watching it. It's approaching the highs from a couple months ago, August, September, right around $40-ish. If we do really break out of there, if we do start moving past $40, and what do we have here? Kind of an ascending triangle forming, right? If we start getting out of 40, 42, there could be a lot more upside in this stock. Another one that I'm looking at, which I'm going to keep hounding you guys with, is Monster. Monster today went up 1% in the midst of a red day, which is good, and it's right at $100 again. Can Monster finally just break $100? I mean, it did a couple days ago. It got to 105, fell back under 100, and here we are again. We're at $99. Again, we had a green day today, which is good. So let's see if Monster could take that $100 level and start breaking out. I think it could go back to 105, 110 from there, maybe even higher as the ascending triangle would overall be playing out. So I really like MNST. Keep your eyes on it, guys, and who knows? I mean, it might not play out, might not break out, but at this point, it looks like it's right on the verge of doing that. That's just my opinion. And another one that I'm looking at here is CPB, which is Campbell Soup. Another one that went green today, 4% green day for Campbell Soup, and they did close above $50. So this is one that I want to play if it could break 51 to about 51.50. And we're right there. I'm going to set my alert at $51. We are right there. And the only thing that's making me a little bit cautious about this is if I clear the drawing set and zoom in a little bit, guys, what do we have right here? This kind of, to me at least, looks like a head and shoulders, does it not? We have the left shoulder right here, the head, the right shoulder. So I'm going to want to see a break out of the neckline, which happens to be at $51.50 roughly right there. So if we do get out of there, if we're able to break that point, there is going to be a push probably to 53, maybe mid-high 50s from that point. So CPB or CPB, that's right. I always mix those up. CPB is Campbell Soup. You got to watch it. We also have Intel. We're going to talk about Intel and Micron, the last two stocks for the video. If you guys stuck till the end, hit that like button. Again, we're trying to get 100 likes, and I appreciate you guys. Drop a comment, drop some emojis. You guys are awesome if you stuck till the end. So Intel's been slowly reversing as the stock market has been seeing this little rally it's been on. Well, maybe not today. It didn't do well. It went down 4% for Intel, but it's been doing well the past couple of weeks. You can see here we're above the moving averages now for the first time in a couple of months. Same thing here with Micron. I mean, these charts look pretty dang identical. And Micron today had a 7% red day, so a lot of selling on Micron. But overall, on both of these stocks, guys, they're right by the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart. Micron's right at $59-$60, right at that moving average. Going back to Intel, let's see here. Yeah, same thing. It's right around that 50 SMA at about $29-$30. So if buyers come in here at Intel, $30, we could make a move back to 31. Maybe we take that high out. But then again, if it breaks 29, we might be going down straight to 27, 27.50, right? So we have to kind of play it by ear, see what happens at this moving average. And going back to Micron, ticker symbol MU, right here, if it holds successfully 59.60, which as of now it is, we might be getting that move back to the mid-60s. But if we do break at 60, you got to realize, guys, 59.60, we could have a move back down towards the lower mid-50s, maybe 54, 55, somewhere in that ballpark. So, yeah, I'm watching Micron. I'm watching Intel, Campbell's Soup, Monster, Bath & Body Works, Cisco, and Nvidia. Those are 7 stocks that I'm having, that are at the top of my watch list pretty much right now. And today, again, it was just a red day overall. Stocks like, oh my God, Tattooed Chef down 18% Unbelievable. The most red stock on my watch list today. Stocks like DWAC, well, I guess it's a SPAC, down 16% today. Look at this. Textbook double top. I mean, look at that. We saw one pump up to about, where was that? $30. It sold off. It cut in half pretty much to about 18, 20. Well, maybe not in half, but it got killed down to 20. And now we got that second pump just earlier today, guys. Holy smokes. Look at this. We'll end the video after this. Look at this, guys. DWAC earlier in the day was at $31 a share. We're talking in the pre-market, 28, $30, $31. It's now at $20. I mean, this thing is so volatile. Who would want to play? I mean, who would want to have money in this in the first place? I mean, are there any people that are actually... Did anyone actually put long-term money in this? Sure, I get it if you're trading it, you're trying to play the volatility, but is anyone really betting on this long-term? I mean, maybe, Trump is running for president now again, which, I mean, who's really surprised at that? Nobody. So is that going to be good for this? I mean, who the heck knows? If he gets let back on Twitter, is this going to go down the drain? I mean, that's kind of what I think is going to happen. That's my theory. I feel like Trump will be back on Twitter soon, and who's going to be going on Truth Social at this point, who's on Truth Social anyway? Now that Elon owns Twitter, that's a big catalyst for this to go down. I mean, the people made Truth Social in the first place to kind of get away from the silence of freedom of speech on Twitter. But now that Elon owns Twitter, and he's opening kind of the floodgates. Sure, he's not going to let, crazy hate speech or anything like that, which he shouldn't. I mean, that shouldn't be allowed. But now that he's on here, Elon owns it, and he's the freedom of speech guy. He's going to let, and my take is Trump's going to come back on Twitter. I mean, that's just the reality of the matter. And, that's not going to be good for DWAC. So, yeah, I mean, it could still be, a playable stock in the short term or SPAC, whatever the heck. But for the long term, I mean, I'm staying so far away from it to the point where I can't even see it. That's just the reality for me. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap the video up. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe. And don't forget to get your free stocks from Moo, from Webull. All those links are down below. My second channel, Stocks Talks Money, make sure to subscribe to that. Link down below as well. It's more of a general finance, personal finance channel. You're going to want to go subscribe. I'll see you there. Thanks for watching as always, guys. Peace out.